This video is created for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. All financial actions are the sole responsibility of each individual. Before starting, make sure you understand the risks and are prepared for them. Hello! Wait a second. Don't scroll past. Right now, there is a format happening in my community that we call the Educational Contest. It's an opportunity for those interested in analysis who want to try something new in a comfortable pace and with support. My name is Evelyn. I have been working in data analysis for over 10 years, developing an approach that helps people gradually dive into the process, especially those just starting out. As part of the contest, participants get access to my community where I analyze real examples and situations, host live sessions with commentary, answer questions, and provide support throughout. Everything happens calmly, no rush, no overload, no complicated terms. It's a format where you can simply observe, ask questions, and understand how the process works without obligations and at a convenient time for you. Participation is open. I personally support new members to ensure everyone feels comfortable. If you are interested, follow the link in the description or pinned comment and send me the word contest. I'll explain how everything works and where to start. And now I'll show you one of the approaches we explore in this format. Friends, before we continue, I want to say a few words. In my community, you can find not only useful information, but also what's especially important, watch how certain approaches are applied in practice. I share what I have built over the years, step by step, through personal experience and observations. It's nothing complicated or obscure. Rather, it's a foundation that helps better understand how the analysis process works and what to focus on when working with data. I recommend this format to those just getting acquainted with the topic. I strive to explain clearly so it's comfortable to join the process without rush or overload. If you've long wanted to understand how everything works, now is a good time to just check it out. The link to the community is in the description or pinned comment. It's all open. You can join whenever convenient. Meanwhile, let's continue. I'll show you one of the approaches I use myself. Alright, everything's set for work. I want to pick the helper called Alligator. It consists of several lines that react to changes and show whether the movement phase is active or there is a pause. Okay, next we pick our team. Now is the perfect time to start. I can't wait. There is a stable movement in one direction. The lines of my helper point upwards, confirming the current momentum. There is a slight slowdown, and that's when I decide to take off. Good, let's see what's next. What do we have here? Let's see. After a decline, the movement slowed down and went sideways for some time. Then there was a breakout upwards, which can be considered a change in direction. The tool I rely on also started moving up. I think this is clear. Aiming for the top again. Let's keep moving forward, friends. Here I see the movement continues in the same direction as before. There is a confident rise, and the tool I use confirms this with its lines pointing up. I decide to keep following this movement. Let's keep the pace, friends. Focus is key. Let's see what's here. The movement is downwards, approaching an area where there was prior activity was a reason to enter. I know the reaction. The chart tested a higher level and reversed. Ultimately, the direction held and the result was positive. Good. Let's act. So, the further we go, the more interesting it gets for me. What do you think of what you see? If you want to go a bit further, I invite you to the format currently running inside my community. We call it an educational contest. It's a calm way to get into the topic, especially if you're just starting. What awaits you there? Live streams, where I show how I approach analysis and explain my logic step by step. Everything is visual, without overload or complicated formulas. Structured presentation to understand how the process builds and what to focus on. A space where you can ask questions. I'm regularly in touch with participants. I remember what it's like to be at the beginning of the journey. Back then, I really wanted to find a format where everything was explained calmly and clearly. Now, I try to create exactly such an atmosphere, especially for those taking their first steps. Participation is open. If this approach resonates with you, follow the link in the description or pinned comment and write contest. I'll explain how it's organized and where to start. Now, let's get back to watching. It's going to get even more interesting. Let's look here. After the direction change, there's a brief pause with slight fluctuations within one range. The movement is rising to the upper boundary of this zone, from which I decide to go down. We will watch. Good job, guys! Let's continue. So what do we have here? I observe a developing movement in the opposite direction and a reversal of the tool I rely on. I'm not in a hurry to say the direction has fully changed. It's important that the chart returns to a previous key level. I think the movement is heading there to test it. So my decision is... It's great to use your knowledge, but even better when you see where it leads. It's pure joy, friends. Let's move here. The movement temporarily slowed and moved in a narrow range. Before that, there was a steady decline, so I continued to consider this direction. After the chart settled below the guiding line, I go down. Good. Let's move on. Here, the movement held within one range near a level for a long time. There was an attempt to break downwards, but it quickly pushed back. This behavior often indicates that the opposing force dominates. In such cases, a movement in the opposite direction often begins. So, let's take off. Alright guys, let's do one more. As I noted earlier, there was a significant deviation from the main direction. After that, movement returned to a key zone and responded with a reversal. The tool I rely on also reversed upwards. All this indicates an attempt to continue the previous momentum, so we fly up again. Do you see this? On one hand, it's familiar, but on the other, it's always nice, as if it's happening for the first time with me. Let's turn on our imagination for a second. Imagine a new door in front of you. On one side, familiar tasks, work routine. Behind the door, the chance to try something new, something that can bring a fresh perspective and add interest to what you do. When we hear the word learning, it may sound boring. But this isn't about school lessons or rote memorization. What I do is about clarity, simplicity, and the opportunity to better understand how the world around us works. Sometimes, if you look deeper, it even affects the quality of life. Now, I'm launching a format for beginners. We call it a contest. It's a chance to calmly join the process and see the topic from another angle. It doesn't matter if you have experience or not. Everything is explained in plain language and there is no exam format. You just watch, ask questions, and gradually form your understanding. If you feel interested, follow the link in the description or pinned comment and write contest. I'll explain how it's organized and what comes next. I'll be glad if you drop by. See you inside. Bye!